Imagine for a moment your pits smelling like nothing. You don't stink after you work out. Your teenager's foot odor doesn't exist. How is this possible? It's Lumi! Challenge Lumi to keep you funk-free for 72 hours. Go to uglytruth.com/Lumi. You can pick your favorite smell, the favorite type of applicator or stick or tube or wipe, and you will be amazed by your non-smelly body. uglytruth.com/Lumi. Welcome to the Ugly Truth.
I thought you were gonna give me a signal or something.
Sorry.
Okay.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 553. We were talking before the show about travel and our snooty needs for hotels. But what I was going to add on to that is that now they have completely removed any extra pleasantries with air travel. Like,
oh, yes.
you cannot buy your way into a comfortable flight anymore.
No matter what?
Like, what I mean by comfortable is you can buy spots that have more legroom and stuff like that, but you don't get extra, like, first class.
There's no luxuries anymore.
First class is just like everything else. You just get a bigger seat.
And the front of the plane.
There's no china and glasses and, champagne and one-on-one assistance and your own bathroom. I think you still get that. But, I mean, other than that, it's like I literally could see the curtain that they closed to it's sheer.
Oh.
You can see what they're doing. I'm like,
so why would anybody want to? Yeah, I mean, other than to be separated from the kettle.
Daryl's like, do you want to do first class? Because we went to Hawaii last year, and I said, he goes, you want to do first class? And I said, well, I would, but I mean, are we going to get booze? Because the last time we went, they didn't serve alcohol.
Yeah.
And that was just to LA. So I thought, are they going to give us anything? So we're like, you know what? No, we're not going to do first class, but we did do business class. So we had more
legroom.
More legroom. And then the lady in front of us, and she said, hey, I'd like to order a beer. And she's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't serve alcohol on this flight. And I turned to Daryl, he had his earphones on, and I hit him, and he's like, what? I go, no booze. He's like, what do you mean? I go, they don't serve booze. He's like, what? I go, does first class have alcohol? And he looks, and he goes, no. And I'm like, motherfuckers. You know what? I blame the trash of this country because this is the only reason we don't have booze, because you people can't control yourselves.
Because you assault flight attendants because they make you wear a mask.
And you scream like big babies. And it's like, all you need is a big punch in the face and just to shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
So that we can all have our cocktails. So that we're not white knuckling it over the ocean for 5 hours.
God, I would die.
You can't even, we talked about this before, you can't even load up before you go, because if you're too drunk, they won't let you go.
Let you on the plane.
Anyway, so you have to indulge at the hotels.
Right.
Or the restaurants. Or whatever.
Yeah, or you
can't do it on the plane.
You have to be really, really good about holding your alcohol if you're going to drink before you get on the plane.
Only one time did they question my sobriety on a plane.
Were they watching you?
When we were getting ready to get on the plane. It was a Southwest flight. Did you trip
because you were awkward?
No, I had a very, a triple screwdriver. Which you have to do.
Well, yeah.
And so I'm walking, and I don't know, it must have been my face or something. Now I just wear sunglasses when I get on the plane.
Oh, there you go.
But before it was something, and he gave me the side eye, and Daryl's like, she's fine. She's just nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I can see how people intoxicated would take that and be triggered and go, I'm fine.
No, you can't.
No. I just shut my mouth. I'm like, I just want to go to wherever I'm supposed to be going and get on the plane and just get in my little seat. I just want to get on my little chair.
They're waiting for you to say something.
Completely. They're like, we're overbooked. We'd be happy to kick you off. I'm like, nope. I'm good.
Hi, welcome. Hello.
But
mahalo.
as I say, mahalo. Yes. Mahalo.
Hi, cousin.
I loved Hawaii.
I do too.
Fun.
But yeah, I swear to God, being on your best behavior when you fly is an absolute must.
And I just sit there and chill. I'm like, how is this so hard? Why is this so difficult for people?
I don't know, but I really don't know.
And it's like
people are so entitled.
I just don't know. Is it new?
I just think it's evolving.
Okay, it's time for producer Deb's cocktail of the week.
You could put a little song on or something.
I think he needs a theme song of some kind.
You need a song or something to introduce the drink.
My God.
Ooh, this looks like a Christmassy thing. Yeah, I'll let you set it down.
This looks cranberry.
Oh my God, yes. Mine's fuller than yours.
Okay. This is a brand new cocktail I literally just learned about today.
Okay, what is it?
It is a cranberry vanilla sparkler.
What?
That sounds amazing.
What's in this?
Well, it's got cranberry juice, obviously, orange liqueur.
Fresh squeezed? No, I'm just kidding.
No. But not the cranberry juice drink, like cranberry juice.
Okay.
Like not the ocean spray cocktail.
It's like
sugary
unsweetened.
100%
Yeah.
cocktail cranberry. Orange liqueur and vanilla bean. Actually in the shaker.
Oh, so you like open the thing and like check it out?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And Domaine Carneros Estate Brut.
Ooh.
This cocktail was made for Domaine Carneros. And they emailed it to me today, and I'm like, I'm going to try that.
Up.
This is so exciting.
The smell. So there's a little rosemary sprig in it.
Just a little one.
And it smells so good.
And it also has raw, like, gold rim sugar for the sparkly on
My
that.
mouth is literally watering. Okay, stop. I don't want to just taste spit.
Oh my God, that is so tasty. Did you
Isn't it
taste
good?
this?
Yeah, I tasted a little bit of it, yeah. Not out of your
God.
glasses, obviously. Mouth oil and all.
No mouth oil.
Nobody's got a salt granule on the tip of his nose. That's how I knew.
No, I did.
I'm not joking. You really did have
So
one.
it's raw sugar.
It's sugar.
You can use gold rim sugar, it says, but I just used a little raw sugar with a wedge, orange wedge
That is
around
so
it.
good.
So it's really
Stop
just.
it. Now, what are you going to do?
Kind
This
of
is your third drink, and now how are you going to keep one-upping?
And what's cool about these is all of these aren't like we drink them all the time. So
No,
it's been
these are
fun. It's been
special.
fun.
Yeah,
to
for
make them.
sure.
So that's why
Yeah,
I
you
had
wouldn't
to.
just like whip one of these up on a Tuesday night. Well,
No, he would.
Maybe.
He
Well,
would.
cheers.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
mahalo. We were just talking about Hawaii.
That's hilarious.
If I had known you were
So
doing Hawaii, I
good.
would have done
We
my
didn't know.
times.
We did. No, it just
came up.
happened. It just
As
happened.
does everything we talk about.
It does. Okay, well, there it is. Producer Dub's cocktail of the week. It looks divine. There's literally bubbles coming out the middle.
This one I'm going to drink a lot faster.
Yes. This
The
one
tequila one I was savoring a little bit, and it was bigger.
Oh my God, this one is so.
But this one is epic.
It's beautiful.
And it's a little sweeter because of the champagne, I think.
Well, you don't have to twist my arm to drink
Right?
champagne. My God.
He knew.
Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, well, let's get into other things. So
good.
welcome to the Ugly Truth. Hello. Travel is kind of shitty right now, but
But we still love it, and I still want to go.
oh my God, yes. Okay,
Can't
so
deter me.
I found there's a celeb thing that I wanted to talk to you about. This made me laugh. I don't know how much you follow Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
I have been lately because they've been in the freaking,
Because Jada can't shut her fucking trap.
I know.
About how shitty Will Smith is,
and
apparently.
I don't get it.
She's being so mean. And you know what? Listen, I have my complaints about my man,
We all do.
but you will never hear me talking shit about him like that.
I mean, she's like on a whole nother level.
She's just like, well, he couldn't satisfy me sexually. And I'm like, what? Why would you say that about your husband?
it's so mean.
And you have children. What are you doing?
I mean, she just generally talks about him with such disdain.
She really okay. Change.org has a petition up right now urging the media to stop interviewing Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. It has collected 11,000 signatures.
Oh, Lord. Well, she's got her own podcast, and it's rather popular.
Stop Interviewing Will and Jada was created by user Dexter Morales. By midday Thursday, 11,209 people have signed, more than doubling the initial goal of 5,000 signatures. The target is now 15K. In the comment section, signatories express their frustration with the Hollywood couple's propensity to overshare intimate details about their marriage. I've learned more about this family in the past 3 months than I have in the last 10 years. I'm sick and tired of hearing the BS chat that goes on in their lives. Make it stop.
What I don't understand is why Will why not only does he allow it and almost encourage it, he gets on her bandwagon to try to defend her when the public comes for her.
He did a full GQ cover story.
I know.
And that's what they're talking about. They're like, stop it.
After the fact that
Yes.
after she said all these terrible things about him, then he came out like, well, she's the only person I can talk to for hours and hours. She's my best friend, blah, blah, blah. Literally defending her, trying to get people to stop hating her so bad. And I'm like, why?
50 Cent was recently compelled to question on Instagram, why does she keep doing shit like this? It makes a relationship appear weak. It is weak.
It is weak.
It is weak. That's why you don't do that stuff. It's like... But I have to say, I mean, it's kind of like, this is compounded by a million, but you ever have that girlfriend or even boyfriend, guy friend, who repeatedly complains about their partner, their lover, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their wife, whatever. And at some point you go, what are you doing?
Yes.
Why are you continuing? Just end it already. End the death of this horrific, torturous relationship. It's okay.
Yeah.
People move on.
I guess it depends on who you're talking about. If it's a good friend, then, I will listen forever. Or an UGG. But if it's somebody that I don't really know and they're or not that close to, and yes. I mean, I don't know. I've just gotten very sensitive about relationships. My problem with her, Jada's not sharing this information with intimate friends.
No, it's everybody.
She's sharing it for publicity at the cost of her husband's dignity. And
he's allowing it.
Well, he's encouraging it, and I think it's because she is jealous of the fame and fortune and the how much the public loves him.
Maybe.
And she's always paled in comparison to his fame. Always.
Yeah.
She has.
She's starting to bring up Tupac again.
She can bring up whoever she wants. She's irrelevant. She offers nothing in the entertainment society of any value.
To Will Smith's
Compared to her husband, and we all love Will Smith. Who doesn't?
Do you think that he's allowing it to try to give her a step up?
Yeah. I think he's trying to help stroke her ego and look, I've had the limelight for all of the time we've been married. Everyone loves me. I make $20 million a movie at the snap of a finger. I will always have work and will always be loved and make a lot of money. And I'm very, very famous. And if you want a little time in the spotlight, I am happy to encourage you. And if you have to do it by shaming me and maybe making me look like a douchebag, I'm okay with that.
Would never do that.
But he won't do it forever.
I hope not.
I don't know why they're so stubborn about trying to prove to the world that they are in it forever no matter what. Because it's so obvious to me that they have a loveless, terrible marriage.
It's so bizarre.
But they won't give it up because it's like the ultimate defeat.
It's so strange to me. Life is so short. Why do you want to...
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
And he's such a great, lovely guy. I'm like, why are you wasting your time with this toxic, horrible person?
I don't know, man.
And then I'm thinking, well, why does she hate him so much? Why does she resent him so much? Is it just because of his fame and fortune that she's jealous? Or did he do something?
That's what I'm wondering.
Is he a terrible husband?
Well, see, that's my thought. Is did he do something so debauched and so horrific that she's like, you're entitled to this?
But as much as she talks about everything in their life, literally, wouldn't she have said it by now?
Seriously.
Like, she's going to keep this one thing private?
Maybe he's just like, you can say whatever you want about me, but you won't say this. It's kind of like God. It's like, you can eat whatever you want, but not this apple.
I guess.
And so she's like, fine.
Let's see
how far you'll allow it.
She's so indignant and egotistical, though, that I find it difficult to believe that she would be able to hold it in forever.
I will say this. I've seen her in some films. She's not bad.
She's not bad, but I mean, but
I don't see her really working
Will Smith is like an anomaly. He's one of the few people who will ever achieve that status.
He's like Tom Cruise. Yes. He's like Denzel. He's up there.
He's up there.
High level.
He's got it all. I mean, he's funny. He's attractive. Yeah. He's musically talented.
Anything he does,
he can do serious roles.
Anything he does is gold. Like he doesn't. I mean,
he's just great.
Yeah, he's very rare.
Those aren't. I mean, some actresses, they may have like a few great movies, or they had a really great run.
He's iconic.
He's one of those ones, and that's not common. So why should you compare herself to that?
Yeah.
You just got to realize that you're one of the. He's like a Tom Hanks.
Do you really think it's jealousy of his career?
The way she talks about him.
God, it's so shitty.
Why would you hate someone so much who's been such a great husband to you?
You would think.
Unless you're just so fucking jealous of them.
I don't know. I mean, she has the red table, Stephanie.
That's what I'm saying. And the fact that he's allowing it.
Okay,
so
legit.
openly.
The red table is literally the ugly truth,
but
plus. Well, because they're all famous.
Yeah, well, it's because she's married to Will Smith that people listen.
I mean, what do I have to do? Who do I have to blow? Honestly. Who do you have to fuck? I don't know. How hard is it?
I don't even think that gets you anywhere anymore.
Honestly, I can't think of one human being on this planet that I would blow or fuck to make myself famous.
Me either.
Literally, I can't.
I don't really want to be famous.
I don't either. Not like that.
No.
I like success.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't want the fame. For example, I don't know why it took me a minute to wrap my mind around it, but there has been talk about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship is publicity. It's a publicist
stunt.
It's not a stunt. It's just basically they're trying to repair
the fact that they had like the way that their relationship ended the first time.
Well, that, and I guess they're saying this is a publicist thing, whereas and the hints are, any photos that are leaked, quote unquote, or anything you see, it's all from the same company.
For sure.
and you only see them, they only trot out for like red carpet or you know, these places where they're notoriously paparazzi or whatever.
Right.
There's no true privacy.
Like, what's the word? When something's caught, that's you know,
yeah, it's
like you just see them out and
yeah,
about.
it's
yeah, no.
You never see them together.
That about them or many other celebs.
So
if
they're saying
if you see them and they're photographed, they wanted you to.
Exactly. So what they're saying is that this is a publicity relationship, essentially to repair Ben Affleck's reputation in Hollywood, because he's just such a damaged person, you know,
and Jennifer can do no wrong.
She's very powerful,
and whoever she's
woman.
with is going to be elevated.
Right. I mean, look what happened to A-Rod. The second that ended, we're like, who?
I know.
A-Rod, that behemoth asshole that fucks anything. Oh yeah, well whatever. We don't care about him anymore.
Now he's traipsing around with his ex-wife.
Right. And so
and
there's that, and then they're saying that the Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian thing is another publicist.
100%. And they're already over. He was already at another basketball game with somebody else famous the other day.
Yeah. So it's like,
but she needed that, and Kim is brilliant at that. Kim needed to distance herself from Kanye
J-Lo.
once and for all.
Yeah, and then Kanye comes out and he's like, I want my family back.
He's going on his tirade, and I think that's why she did it.
Yeah.
I think she wanted to make it very public that my husband is crazy. I am divorcing him.
Yeah.
That's it. I no longer want to be associated with his nut job self.
And Pete Davidson is the perfect vehicle.
He is.
He looks just like Courtney's boyfriend or fiance, Travis. But it's, and you know, somebody said, yeah, Courtney was getting a little too much attention.
But I don't believe that.
Of course not. They're sisters.
They don't compete.
They talked about
they
it.
do not compete.
She's just like, I got Pete going to Knott's Berry
and
with us.
by the way, of that dynamic, Kim has always dominated when it comes to the exposure and the public's interest in the family.
In fact,
so she doesn't need to be like, oh, Courtney's taking up. No. People will always want to know what Kim Kardashian is doing way over Courtney.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I was
a nice
like,
little diversion,
so
probably.
This new thing, oh, she probably loved it. This new thing where they're exposing the fact, they're like, you know, a lot of these couplings that you see are all publicists. It's not real.
Well, I mean, some of it might be real, but the way that they're exposing it is the way they want it to come out.
Well, if it's a business arrangement, and I'm like, you know what, they used to do that in the 40s.
I don't think Ben Benifer is all business. I really don't.
I mean, the sexual chemistry is not.
It's non-deniable.
You can see it. You can literally see it. I mean, they're both very attractive people.
They are, and I think they genuinely like each other, and I think they get along.
I don't think they'll ever get married, but
I don't think so either.
I hope she never gets married.
I think she needed to get over A-Rod, not over him as far as like emotionally. I think she was already over him. She needed to publicly disconnect from that relationship,
and it was instant.
It was instant.
She did the same thing that Kardashian did.
Right. And she did it in such a dramatic way that there was no denying. And then nobody was talking about A-Rod anymore.
Yeah,
because now we're all talking about Benifer.
Yeah. And they have been really strategic. Like, I haven't seen anything. I mean, J-Lo's got a new track and a movie and all this shit. And there's Ben who?
Yeah,
you know,
because now she wants to refocus on what she's doing.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. I fucking love her.
I do too.
She's
whoever her people are brilliant.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
On that same note, Britney needs these people. She needs the team like that.
She's doing okay. I think the problem with Britney, I don't have a problem with Britney, but I think that she's so, what's the word? Liberated.
Oh my God. Stephanie, she's so fucking angry. And she's so free. The thing that I've noticed with her Instagram is where she's primarily at, is that she hasn't quite figured out how to break from what she was always only able to do.
Yeah.
The dancing and those weird, that thing, the photos by the tree and all that stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it as much, but she's still doing it. But then she's doing these tirades.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a woman who's trying to figure it out and letting us see it. And I'm cool with it.
I am too. She's not embarrassing herself.
She's not crazy.
No, she's not crazy.
She's figuring it out. And I'm like, she's like a baby deer.
Yes.
It's been it's been her whole life.
It's almost like she's a bit of caged animal and she's kind of feral. And she's got to figure out how to be back in society again.
Luckily, she's clearly with a man who loves her to death.
He does.
He called her his wife. They're in Mexico right now.
I know people are speculating they got married.
I mean, they could have, but she's still getting the big old wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Versace's making her dress.
Oh, love.
She's like, yeah, this is my dress. Just kidding. Versace's making it for me right now. And I'm like, oh, bitch, I can't wait.
I know. We're all so excited.
I'm like stoked. I can't wait. I'm just so happy. And she has like...
The thing I love about her relationship with Sam Asghari is that she had, now that I know how restrictive her conservatorship was, he was getting nothing out of that monetarily. For the longest time when they first got together and I wasn't really paying attention to the conservatorship, I was like, this guy is with her because she's got billions and billions of dollars.
He's a trainer.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, it's the typical,
But he wasn't getting money.
Like Mariah Carey and Brian Tanaka. You know, I mean, that guy's like a leech, you know? I mean, but he wasn't getting anything out of it. I mean, they literally had whatever they were allowed to have.
$2,500 a month.
Oh my God.
That's all she got.
So, you know.
It's like minimum wage.
Right? And so now I'm like looking at him in a whole new light. Like I have mad respect for him.
He probably protected her.
I think he really loves her.
I do too.
And I think they genuinely have a really good connection. And I think that he's really genuinely happy for her that she's free. And
I cannot wait to see what happens with
so
this
happy.
girl.
So excited.
I mean, I know she really wants a baby.
I think she's, yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's fine, but
it's fine. She's just getting, you know, she's what, 40?
She's 40.
Yeah.
She just turned 40.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's okay. You can still have a baby.
Oh
at
God,
40.
lots of women have babies at 40, and she's so healthy. Like
she
physically,
is.
she's
She
so
is.
healthy.
Yeah, very much so.
So I mean, she could do it. But anyway, I just thought that was cool that we're watching her grow.
I'm not getting over it yet. Like I'm not tired of it.
I am not tired of it
Yeah.
at all. I'm so happy for her. But I was telling Daryl about this the other day. I said, you know, it's like on one hand, I miss the days where celebrities were mysterious. We didn't really know anything about them. You know, we only
speculated about their life.
We only knew what they wanted us to know. Oh, this is her new dog, and she just moved to this beautiful home in Bel Air, or they went off to Italy. But then paparazzi became a thing, and now we're seeing all of these. I can't think of the word either.
Exposure.
These scenes where we were never meant to see them.
They're not candid.
Well, kind of candid.
Like they went through a period of time where they were candid, and certain celebrities still are. Certain celebrities that haven't achieved, you know, Kim Kardashian status or Britney status.
Although they photographed Britney coming out of a fucking gas station.
They
did.
Assholes. I get it, but other celebrities that are like. Even like Reese Witherspoon. She's extremely famous, but she can still kind of go to the grocery store and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They may take a couple pictures of her once in a while, you know. Yeah. But people aren't interested to see those photos versus like but the Kardashians and Britney, you know, and Britney hasn't figured this out yet. They have hired people and teams of people to make that work in their favor. So it's no longer like, oh, we caught him off guard. You know, that doesn't happen anymore.
I'm looking forward to, I can see why she would not be trustworthy of a team yet, but I'm really hoping that some of these more powerful women in entertainment reach out and say, yo, let me help you.
I mean, I know you say that a lot, but
I know. I just want it so bad. I want women to support women, and Britney needs support.
Yes, she does.
From women.
I think that she's been so controlled and has been so reclusive because of that for so long that she probably, you know, I don't want to say ashamed, but I mean, I don't think she probably felt comfortable having friends or having people close to her or anything.
They were cutting them off.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to take time for her to build those kind of relationships with other people.
I'm sure that a ton of people have reached out.
She's been secluded and isolated. Yeah. She's been in an abusive situation for so long.
Her whole life.
Yeah, I mean,
she said something the other day. I think you even liked it. She's like, I've been working for my family my whole life.
Yeah.
That made me so sad.
Just, I mean, like, honestly.
That made me so sad.
I thought it was so cute, the pictures that she was posting for the first time leaving the country alone.
I know.
With
no anything.
And she's like, I can't even believe I'm doing this. Like, it's so fun.
I literally get emotional, and I don't even know her. I don't even know her.
No, but you would do that for anyone.
But you know, the thing is, though, and on some weird note, is I do know what it feels like to have an abusive dad.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It is, watching her be free from it is like, I know what that feels like.
It's so liberating.
It's like, you can't even believe it.
Right.
You can't believe that you don't have to be afraid anymore. You can't believe that they don't have any control over you anymore. And it's terrifying. It takes you a long time to realize.
To get used to it.
Well, it just takes you a long time to realize that you're like, I can literally do whatever I want. Yeah. And no one's going to punish me or hurt me or yell at me or scare me ever again.
Right. Totally.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's why we see, it's almost like when you see a dog that's been abused and then somebody adopts it. They're, you know, like little chihuahuas, you know, they're scared and they shake all the time and everything. It takes a while for them to trust again and to be comfortable and
then suddenly one day
they're the best
chill.
Animal you ever had ever.
It's true.
So I think, you know, I'm not likening Britney to a dog.
I was gonna say, is Britney a dog in this scenario?
But I'm just saying, humans also do. You know, it's like post-traumatic stress disorder. You know what I mean? She's gonna have to. She'll figure it out. She'll figure it out, and
I cannot
she will
wait.
be amazing.
On the same entertainment note, Daryl and I went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I saw that you went and saw that, and I really want to go see it.
Now, did you love the original Ghostbusters?
I like the originals.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like the all-girl version. I thought it was stupid.
Okay,
Not because it was all girls. I just thought the movie was dumb.
I didn't hate the all-girl version, but it has nothing to do with the franchise, the original franchise. They just basically rebooted it and did kind of a reverse, and it had a completely different plot. However, Ghostbusters Afterlife is essentially this. It's modern day, and the Ghostbusters are their age, but you don't see them. They're gone. So this is a woman, her daughter, she's the daughter of one of the original Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Egon, I think. He was the lead, the main guy with the glasses.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. And
I just couldn't remember his name.
Yes. Yeah. So in the beginning, I mean, I'm not really spoiling anything. In the beginning, he dies. And so the daughter, who's really struggling financially most of her life, she ends up going to where he is, and this is in the middle of buttfuck Oklahoma.
Oh, yay.
But he has a house, and it looks like it's so dilapidated. It's like, how did he even live here? Everybody thinks he's crazy.
Oh.
And so she moves into this little podunk town with her 2 children. Her one daughter, who, by the way, was on Young Sheldon.
Oh, really?
She played the genius girl. She's on there. And then one of the kids from Stranger Things is the older brother, who's like 15. Anyway.
And he looks like Egon. Right? Or whatever.
She does. The little girl does.
I thought the one little boy had glasses and everything and he kind of looked like him.
That's a girl.
Oh, that's a girl?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at the trailer.
Yeah. But she's a girl. But she's way into science.
Oh, that's cute.
The whole thing. So basically, Paul Rudd's in this movie.
Oh, cool.
So it's essentially like if all of the other movies didn't happen and they only had the first one, and then you time jump to 40 years later, or however long.
Good.
God, is it?
They didn't try to.
40?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so it's like, and then all this other shit went down, and they, the Ghostbusters kind of fell apart and all this stuff. But anyway,
I like that.
It kind of picks up from there, and they finish what they started in the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, love.
With Zool and the bad guy. All of it's in there. It's like, somebody's like, are you the key master? That whole shit goes down again because they never eradicated the god.
Right, that's true.
So anyway, we watched the whole thing, and then there's a couple of after credit scenes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like when they do that.
But the end, the last 15 minutes of this movie are so fucking good.
Oh, good.
And
I really want to see it.
I immediately started crying, of course, because I'm a big baby. But I also loved Ghostbusters. I mean, it was like I was 13 when it came out or something. I was young. I was pretty young when it came out.
It was so different from anything.
Nothing like it. And the fact that the guy who wrote it has passed away. The guy, Ivan Reitman.
Oh, Ivan Reitman. He's so funny.
His son, he was so funny in Knocked Up. He was Seth Rogen's dad.
Oh, okay. God.
Anyway,
I didn't even think about that.
So his son, Jason, picked up the mantle and did this movie. And so the whole thing is a tribute to his father. And so at the last 15 minutes, I'm like weeping.
Aww.
But what's funny is, everybody was.
Yeah.
Because if you love Ghostbusters,
you would love it.
You will love this. And so some people are like, it was dumb. I'm like, fuck you. It was not dumb. It was wonderful. It was eloquent.
Some people have a hard time embracing symbolicism and
tribute. It was a tribute.
Or a tribute.
It was a full-on tribute.
Some people are just like that, but if you give in and you're one of those people that allows your soul to absorb those things, and you totally do, and so do I.
I have not seen in my life a bad movie because I can find the value in anything. I was listening to Patton Oswalt, who I love.
I do too. Actually.
I love him so much, and I'm so happy that he married Meredith Salinger. Oh my god, best couple ever. Anyway,
except for his first wife, but yeah.
Well, she was exquisite.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. But anyway.
But she's dead, so.
She has passed, yes.
We can't help that.
And he luckily found another love, and that's what I meant. Anyway.
Very fortunate.
He said something once, years ago, and it always stuck with me. Now, I've never had a problem dissing movies, because I don't diss movies. I don't believe in bad movies. I just don't care. I will find value in anything I watch. But he said, the worst movie you have ever seen in your life, the movie that everybody panned, hated it so much. He goes, it took thousands of people working really, really hard to make that happen. He goes, and I always remember that when I go into a movie. I'm like, think of all those names.
He's an actor, though. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, but like, what were we watching? I'm trying to think. Oh, so for the very first time in my life, I watched Snakes on a Plane the other day. Have you seen it?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
We had never seen it before.
Samuel L. Jackson. Of course I have.
He's in everything. But honestly, it was one movie that I had never seen. Netflix is carrying it right now, and I have Netflix on pretty much all the time in my kitchen. And so because I don't have a cable box in there.
Okay.
So I can only stream. And so I stream Netflix constantly. And it came on. I was doing so. It was the Thanksgiving week when I was literally in my kitchen like all the time, and I had it on. And Jerry comes buzzing through, and he glances over and he stops, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And it was the part where this one guy had one of the big giant snakes, and his whole head was going into the snake's mouth.
Yes.
And he started laughing. He's like, "This is awesome! What is this?" And I was like, "Snakes on a plane." He's like, "Oh my god!" He sat his ass down and watched the whole movie with me.
I'm watching it,
and we liked it. You know what I mean?
It.
It was funny. I was laughing sometimes. Other times I was like, "Ew!" I mean, it was just a hilarious movie, and I really enjoyed it. And I've watched it like 3 times since.
I think one of the reasons why I'm like, well, I've never seen a bad movie truly is because
I mean, if that's not a bad movie, I don't know what
it's not. It's culty. It's kitschy. But I think what it is too is my love for like movies like Airplane, old school, very, very old school movies. Right. I like stuff like that. But is
movie's funny.
If you like horror films, you're going to see some really bad shit.
Well, I glanced at 8-Legged Freaks today.
Oh my god, Stephanie, that's such a good movie.
But I haven't watched it yet. So
it's such a good movie.
Actually something that I intended when I get home tonight. I'm making dinner. I was like, I might put that on, unless it's too scary. Like if Jeff walks by.
It's like B movies.
Okay, good. All right.
The spiders are
the fact that
ridiculous.
It was called 8-Legged Freaks. I was like, it's probably okay.
Basically the spiders. It's like there was a movie out in the 50s where the spiders were like as big as like bigger than cars.
We love movies like that.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Like Scorpion versus Godzilla.
Yeah, it's essentially just like that.
But a more modern version.
These aliens come down and they're spiders and they're huge and they, Owen Wilson's brother that I can't remember his name. He's the star of it, and he's got to lead all these people to kill the spiders.
Don't tell me. I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
I'm not telling. I'm not killing. I'm not. No.
Well, I actually, you can't really spoil movies like that. No, you have to watch them.
Basically, they're clearly exactly what they say they are.
I put the original Arachnophobia on the other day.
That's such a good movie.
Yeah. What's that guy's
John
name?
Goodman.
Flap.
Oh, Brad?
Dang it.
Bob?
Flap from Terms of Endearment.
He was also
the guy.
Well, he was on Broadway. He was on.
He's on a lot of things.
Broadcast
But
news.
that's always the first thing I think of when I see him.
Flap is the first thing you think of. He was
Flap.
No, he wasn't the president of Independence Day. It's his lookalike.
Yeah, it's his lookalike. What's his name?
What is wrong with me?
I don't know, because we've had 2 drinks and it's like 2:30.
Jesus.
So yeah, anyway, I turned that on the other day because I'm like, this movie's super old. It's dumb. It's not really scary. Jeff was curled up in a ball next to me with like his fingers in his mouth. He was terrified. Really? Yes.
That's such a good
So
movie.
I'm like, honey, do you want me to change it? He's like, well, I want to see what's going to happen. Are they going to eat him?
Jeff Daniels! God!
Yes, thank you.
So silly.
I know, right?
God damn.
So anyway, lately I've had to be more mindful of what I'm playing in the background, even though I think it's dumb or it's not scary. My son is
right.
like,
he's young.
He's
only
young.
He's only 9.
And you know what? He's so much like you, Jamie.
What?
His imagination is unbelievable. He can go to space in his mind in 2 seconds.
That's so cute.
Like it's so real to him.
Tyler reminded me, apparently, I did not know I did this, but when he was 12, I showed him Friday the 13th.
Oh, Lord.
I introduced him to horror.
Jeff's not ready for that.
No, God, no. And he may never be. It's a very thing. Our mother, she called me the day before Thanksgiving because she has to ruin everything. Anyway,
she had to remind you that you're about to be a pagan.
She just, it was not the easiest call to get through, but... She said, I do have a question. Why is Tyler so obsessed with vampires? I'm like, where do I begin? Well, this is my fault because I'm obsessed with vampires. So
she didn't know. Well, you've been hiding it from her.
Well, we all hide things from our mothers.
I hide everything from Mother.
But, my children hide nothing.
Right.
So
Thank God.
I know it all. Just like the unvarnished truth of Hollywood, which I was trying to say, is that...
What's it called?
there was a time when we didn't know anything about celebrities.
Right.
And that
Like, we didn't know
we
Bing
knew,
Crosby was an alcoholic.
or beat his kids, you know? And it's
Right.
like, we didn't know any of that shit. Or that Rock Hudson was gay.
Right.
And
We didn't know anything.
They forced him to marry someone's secretary just so that it looked like he was a husband. And they're
know.
they force actresses to get abortions all the time.
Many things.
It's like insane. It's like, I mean, in one way, it's probably protected entertainers in the sense that they no longer have to worry about their image because
It's okay to be acceptable. Yeah, and now we accept.
Right, but I was telling Daryl the other day, I said, we all demanded the unvarnished truth. We wanted the reality. Yeah. We want no secrets.
Right.
And now look at us.
We wanted transparency.
Now look at us. We hate everybody and everything. It's like the government's like, oh, well, you want to know the truth? Well, here's the truth. 770,000 of you died from COVID.
I know,
and,
right?
We're constantly being attacked by terrorists. You just wouldn't know because we have the military of the gods.
We live in a perpetual state of panic, and
the reason that we all age the way we do is because
we're agoraphobic now,
constantly saving everyone's lives, and you just are, And it's like, do we really need to know all of it?
Now that I'm getting older, I do self-censor, on my intake, about how much I can absorb in any one given day or week or month or whatever. Like, if I'm just over it and I'm overwhelmed with information, I do love the fact that I can turn all of that off if I want to.
Same.
I only have to take in what I want and what I can handle. It's
up to us now to censor.
Yes, I love streaming
others.
and all that. You can turn on, you can watch what you want, you can filter everything out.
True.
Or if you really want the God's honest, horrible truth and you want to see what's happening in the world, you can watch all the dirty details.
Go to C-SPAN.
Go to C-SPAN. You can go to freaking YouTube.
Go to Al Jazeera.
Yes, exactly.
Have you caught up on Dexter? I'm one episode behind.
Yes, of course.
God damn it.
I watch them immediately.
Shit.
I don't watch them as they the night that they're on. But I watch them the next day. I cannot.
Okay, I'm one episode
We
behind.
should probably talk about it when it's over because it's almost, I don't think it's going to be that long, honestly.
I think there are 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah, and what are we on, 4?
4 just...
I mean, I know you're behind, but...
Well, I finished 3, but I mean, yes, I have one more to watch.
So we're literally halfway through.
Explain something to me, because I think I must have forgotten, because I did not go back and rewatch Dexter's last season. I probably should have, simply for the...
It wasn't the best.
Well, no, it wasn't, but it's simply for the...
historical value of, what happened.
Well, just the way that they storytell, because it's been so long. I'm like, is it really this obvious? Or are they going to do a bait and switch on us at some point?
They will.
Because I'm like, you were sure that it was the billionaire.
Clancy Brown.
You think he's the one hunting children, hunting runaways.
Yes.
And I am not convinced.
Okay. I'm perfectly willing to.
And I will only
if
say
I'm wrong, I'll be like,
they are really, really building him up to be obviously the guy. Because when he's in episode 3 and the girl broke down and he's like, hey, do you want to sit in my car? It's warm in there. I have TV and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, boy, he's being predatory.
Well,
the
only reason, okay, so there
are really good reasons why it would be him.
Well, right.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I guess that I am so I knew it wasn't going to be as good as the first one. I really did know that. Right. Because whenever they try to recreate
this is a wrap-up. This is trying to make it.
Exactly. People were so unsatisfied with the ending of the last season of Dexter.
Yes.
That they were like, we have to give them what they want, okay? Mm-hmm. So, I'm already disappointed with it on a few levels.
Do you think they're going to spoon-feed it to us?
Somewhat, because some of it already is. I knew the guy the minute he walked into the store to buy the gun. I knew he was dead.
Yep.
I mean, and Dexter hadn't even given us an inkling that he was going to kill anyone yet. But I'm like, this guy's dead.
Yep.
So the fact that I can pick out some of these things so obviously so quickly.
Yes.
And the girl, the runaway that was in the bar, she's like, let me give you money. I'm like, she's going to be a fucking victim. Yep. So I think that the son is going to be a killer.
Oh, he probably already is.
Already is?
What if he's the one?
What if he killed Hannah? What if Hannah didn't die of cancer? We don't know for sure.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
And he has some skills.
He watched his mother get murdered.
Oh my God.
So he's just like Dexter.
What if he... Oh.
Remember? Dexter saw his mother get murdered.
Yes.
He saw his mother get murdered.
He did.
So they're already, leading it. So yeah. So I mean, some of it is so obvious to me that it wouldn't surprise me if they were spoon feeding it to us. And
I want to be genuinely shocked.
I think that they are going to. I think they're trying to tantalize the audience that wasn't original Dexter watchers. People who don't really know about the original Dexter because it's so old now. It's so old, you know.
Quote unquote. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're hoping that the new people that are watching it will be like, ooh, wow, you know. But those of us who are original
we're
diehard seasoned veterans, we're like, this is way too obvious.
It's so obvious. I'm like, I don't, and I'm like, was it always this obvious?
No.
It wasn't, right?
It was not.
The only thing that I enjoyed for a moment, and I don't know what resolves, obviously I haven't seen the 4th episode yet, but what I really...
It's not getting a lot better, but...
What I really have been enjoying, honestly, is the stress, because, I mean, I would never dismember and kill anyone, but if I had to... The fact that he got a little sloppy with his first kill is really killing me.
It's me too.
It's killing me, and I'm like... You mean to tell me
the original Dexter would never do these things?
He would never have left blood trails.
Never.
He never would have brought that thing back.
He would have never not known where he was going to put the body in advance.
Exactly.
He was like, where can I put this body? Oh, no. The original Dexter would have had all that planned out.
And the fact that there are dogs, and I'm like, come on, man.
And the original Dexter would never have killed somebody spontaneously.
No.
He never killed anyone spontaneously.
He never would have let his emotion get the best of him.
So, I mean, I've been disappointed on a multitude of levels, but I am true and diehard, and I will watch.
Well, he even says, he's like, I'm sloppy. He's admitting that it's bad, and there may be a reason, and I'm wondering if it's because his son will ultimately kill him and take over.
I don't think they're going to let the son kill him. I don't think they're going to do that, because I don't think
he's not going to jail.
No, he's not going to go to jail, but I don't think they want to take away the possibility of a future future
unless
anything.
They're going to extend the franchise and add this boy.
Well, I think they will, because they have to, because Dexter will get old eventually.
Yes.
But I don't think that they're willing to cut off the gravy train just yet.
I just don't think he's going to stay in this town then. It's not.
He can't, and that's the other thing.
It's way too confining.
It's too confined, and that there's just so much about it.
Eventually, he'll get caught. If he doesn't already.
I just think they failed us on so many levels. And I'm so disappointed by that. I'm like, you cheapened this thing we had that we loved. I mean, there's no good cameos in it so far. Yeah. They haven't had, I'm still watching the original because...
Oh, you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so really quick, Sister Wives, I've caught up on the new season.
I have not watched. I have them all DVR'd. How many are there? 2?
I think there's only 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't swear... But she's just like, essentially, she's like, I give 0 fucks if Cody comes with me to New Jersey for my daughter's surgery.
Yeah,
I do not care. She's like, we aren't even friends. Like, we hate each other. I mean, like,
Is that what she was saying?
She has no fucks left to give. And she's just like, she's like, I don't want to be in a marriage where I don't even get hand holding. And she rolls her eyes. She's like, and why would I want to live next to a couple who's clearly happily married and then this? I'm not doing it.
Oh, her and Robin?
Yeah. And then here's the other thing that's really horrible about it is Mary is like, oh my God, he wants to come over and talk to me. Yes, you can come and talk to me. She's like, they totally read Reddit. The Reddit subgroup for Sister Wives is intense.
Yeah?
Yes. And I'm all in it. I know
you're all in.
So anyway, she's like, I've seen all the things. Why do you stay with him? What is it? Is it religion? Are you brainwashed? Da, da, da. And she's like, look, I had a heavenly calling. I'm not going anywhere. This is my family. And all that. I'm like, so you're fucking brainwashed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
Why don't you just admit it?
Just say it.
Yeah.
And Cody's like, I will never fuck her again. We have no romantic relationship.
He's been saying that for years. Years.
And she's like
I'll bet you $1 billion that at night when him and Robin lay down tonight, at any given moment, she's like, you will never fuck any of those women.
That's right.
Ever again.
He hasn't fucked any of those women
in years.
At least.
But I'm sure it is a very well understood thing between them. It's open. It's out.
He lives with her.
Yeah. She's like,
lives with her.
If you ever even kiss one of those other women,
I'll fucking kill you.
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm never leaving you, bitch.
Ever.
Yeah. It's so apparent that he's monogamous.
Yes.
And still trying to do the responsibility.
Well, I think he's trying to milk. Honestly, it's the
gravy
train. Yes, the show.
Yes,
the show has brought them wealth.
So when she decided
to work,
when she decided to leave, everybody in the forum was just like, "Oh my God, I'd watch a spinoff in a minute." I'm like, "But would you?
I wouldn't.
Would you? Because I don't want to watch Christine selling her MLM shit.
I don't.
I mean, what we want to see is this fall apart." And watch the chaos.
The show started out as one of those shows, those trashy shows that many people wouldn't admit that they watched.
Yeah.
You know, and then it evolved into a thing where it's like, okay, we all admit that we watch it now, and we all like it, and it's perfectly fine. And now it's just becoming pathetic.
It's pathetic. In fact, the only reason they'll do one more season is to flesh out Christine moving to Utah, Janelle moving.
So none of that will be included in the season because it hadn't happened when they were filming.
No, because this was in September of last year.
I mean, one thing about this show is that there's so many episodes.
I don't.
Couldn't they have added episodes to make it?
Honestly, if all they have to do is at the end do the text that says at the end of this filming, Christine left. They could do the text, or they
could do confessionals.
Yeah,
where they interview them, independently and say, throw that in at the end.
But I think TLC knows exactly the fact that women like us want to watch and find out what the hell is going on. We want to continue making our assumptions.
I do too, but I mean, I think it's so obvious now that it's almost like if you watch now, it's stupid. It's like, what are you watching? You're not watching anything real.
You're not watching anything happen.
No, I mean, you're just watching them. They're literally what I call like fluff episodes.
They're all fluff.
What can we put into this episode to give it some content?
And it's because they're not a family anymore.
Exactly.
It's a bunch of baby mamas with adult children.
I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm having a hard time. I see my DVR every day, and I'm like, all right, is today going to be the day where you're going to sit down and try to gut this fucking episode? I'm like, no, I honestly don't even have the energy to do it.
I had them sitting on my DVR, and I went, you know what? We're going to record this week. I'm going to watch them so I can talk about it. Because I didn't know if you were going to or not, but...
I have them, but I have not watched.
And I'm like, and I legitimately have no interest in watching them anymore because Christine's gone.
Hey, Daryl, Real Housewives of Orange County just started this week.
I was going to ask you, did you watch the first episode?
Of course.
I haven't.
So that's why I'm saying, I can't get to Sister Wives because there's other shows that I'm like more excited to watch.
Do you like Lisa Rinna on the Beverly Hills? Is she kind of like a side...
No, she's one of the main
No, I know
housewives.
She's one of the main ones, but her mother died,
She did. I have to give Lisa Rinna props because I sometimes have to remind myself how long she's been around.
Oh my God.
As a B celeb.
She was on soap operas.
She still is.
Yeah. I loved her on the soap opera.
I did too.
What was it? Was it One Life to Live?
I think she's on Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. That's it.
Billy. Billy.
She was Billy. Wasn't she raped or killed or what happened to her?
Billy's been on
Billy's
TV
been through
like 25, 30 years.
Billy's been through some shit.
So, yeah, she was very young when she got on the show.
I loved her.
But yeah, but I mean, she has boosted herself from being on a soap opera to being an A-list celeb, and she is worth so much goddamn money.
Yeah. And she did the smartest thing. She has
the QVC thing.
She's got lip gloss.
Well, that's her second gig.
I know.
She's got the Lisa Rinna collection that every fat woman in America buys. By the bazillions.
She's very, very wealthy.
She's married to Harry Hamlin, who still is an active actor who works all the time.
Yes, and they're very happy.
Very happy, and he's gorgeous, and
their children
keeps
are
her very
gorgeous.
centered. Yes, their children are centered. So, I mean, I have mad props for her because of what she has, and she is a hustler, that girl.
She does
not
That's
stop. How I kind of relate with her.
I love that about her.
I know people are like, oh, she's what's the word I'm thinking of? She's making money off of her mother's death, and I'm like, you know what?
I never saw that
because she keeps posting things on social media.
Yeah, because she was
She loved her mother. They were like best friends.
Of course she. You know what? I never once thought for a second she was trying to.
She's getting all kinds of shit about it.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, God, why do you keep? You just want people to keep talking about you because
it's her
you're
mother.
Yeah. But I'm like, that's not why she's doing it. If you watch her and you know her on TV, you know that she genuinely loved her mother.
They were very close.
Yeah, and so and the truth of the matter is Lisa Rinna has been famous for a really long time.
A long time.
So her mother has been part of her publicity for decades. It's nothing new.
It kind of reminds me of Cher and her mother.
See, I don't even know about Cher's mother.
Cher, well, her mom is still alive.
But she doesn't put her on Instagram and stuff all the time.
Well, no, because Cher doesn't do that.
Right.
But in the
Lisa
day,
Rinna does.
Well, I know.
And that's nothing new.
But it's not, who's to say that Cher wouldn't have had she been... Yeah. In a time when that was a
Lisa
thing.
Lisa Rinna's 50. She's not young.
Cher's 80.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, just because she doesn't look like it.
By the way, I had watched Frank and Gracie and Frank. Is that what it's called?
Grace and Frankie?
Yeah. And I noticed that they kind of abruptly, did they finish that season?
I thought this was the final season, and it's not.
Well, I mean, it's like there was no end to the season.
I think the pandemic did it. And I think they were wrapping as much as they could before they had to shut.
I was like, is somebody dying?
No.
Because, I mean, Jane Fonda is, 90? I mean, she is old.
Jane Fonda's in her 80s.
But they're old.
I think she's 80. What? I don't know.
Yeah, Jerry and I looked her up too. I think you're right. 82.
Anyway, no, it did end, but it was because
it was like it was mid-season.
It was like the pandemic, but apparently, and then I thought this was the end, and then it said back for next season. I went, oh, what? And so I think that, in fact, I follow June Diane, who I absolutely love.
Who?
June Diane. She's the one that plays the daughter who is the boss.
Oh, I love her.
I fucking love her.
God, I love her so bad.
And she's kind of like that in real life, too. So she's amazing.
Yeah.
So
she's 83.
There you go. She's
turning 84 in December. Wow. This month.
She looks amazing. What are you going to do? Not even a month or so ago, they wrapped the final season, and it's the final.
So they filmed it already?
Yes, it's done. Okay, all right. So we'll get to see it whenever it comes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to say that
I love these old ladies.
I do too, and I was really I was hoping that that ship wasn't going to go down in flames because they had so many good seasons.
It was so good.
And there's really only a few episodes that I can think of in some of the seasons that I didn't love.
Yeah,
they got they
did get a little off track.
They just got a little weird, but honestly, I thought that, her marrying the guy, I can't think of his name.
He's so cute, too.
He is adorable. Who ended up being a fraud and not having all this money and everything else. Yeah, well, yeah, but have you not watched that?
No, I saw he's out.
He's out. And I thought...
She's like, we're going together. She's like,
I thought once he went to jail, that was going to be the end of that character, and we weren't going to see about that.
Same.
Right? And so the fact that they brought him back, and that I'm kind of into it...
And she's just like, oh...
Initially, yeah.
He's like, I don't want you around.
Right, totally. She's like, wait, what? You went to jail. That's over.
We're done. You're serving your time.
Exactly. And I was like, are they really going to keep this going and play it out? And they did. And I thought I wasn't going to be into it, but I'm kind of into it.
So now we're going to find out.
So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will like this whole thing of her, the nostalgia of his money and his power and all that not necessarily being the draw anymore.
Well, and she's going to be the moneymaker because something's going to hit and they're going to be big.
Yeah, they're going to have, what is it called? The sit down the toilet?
Oh, the
stand up?
The rise up. The toilet.
I think that's going to be it because they've been tinkering with it for a couple of seasons now.
And Mark Cuban's going to be the one to invest.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's see. There was one other thing.
Does this make us old that we love that show?
I was wondering, but I don't know. I don't care.
Does anybody else love it?
I don't know, but I love it. So who cares?
Do we love it because we're old, or do we love it just because it's a good show?
I think it's a good show.
I do
and I
too.
think the actors that they cast are fantastic.
Well, her and Lily are the executive producers and all of that.
But I mean, all the cast is great.
I mean, the gay husbands I adore.
Oh, well, everybody
They couldn't be better.
Everyone loves him. Martin Sheen.
Yeah, well, what's his name isn't bad either. Saul? I can't think of his real name, but... They're both very well-seasoned actors.
They're so good.
And they play the part so good.
I love the whole premise of it.
I do too.
And I was so sad. I'm like, why did Saul have to be the one to get cancer? Of all the ones.
Well, but what's his name had all those heart problems and everything.
I know,
was going to die.
But he's an asshole. Saul's
not an asshole. Why is he an asshole?
He's a nice asshole. But I'm just saying, I just thought
they were both married assholes, cheating on their wives for 20 years.
Can you imagine?
No.
And they had no idea?
I mean, the thing is, they never really expanded that storyline of it.
Didn't.
But if you were going to put that in a realistic situation, most likely you would have some.
You'd be like, yes, suspicion. I know, all right.
But, the way they did it is, I thought it was brilliant because they were both lawyers, so they worked all the time.
All the time. You would never know.
And they were best friends, so it was a very easy way to hide it.
Okay, really quick before we wrap up the show.
Excuse me.
Is we wanted to attempt a good, bad, and ugly.
Right.
The good, the bad, the ugly gift edition. So, I'm with you. I did not get a lot of gifts in my life.
I think you do more recently, but...
Well, very recent. Yeah. But I mean, in general terms, in our world of life, I was not a huge receiver of gifts.
Me either.
So I can remember a lot of them. And and I don't mean just Christmas or birthday. I mean, just gifts of any kind.
In general.
So anyway, do you have a good gift?
I do have a good gift. My best gift that I was ever given was a trip to Hawaii.
That's a good gift.
By a current husband. I did not expect it. He had been working for a really long time on a huge job. Money at the time was free-flowing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't new. It wasn't it didn't have a novelty attached to it or anything like that. We traveled all the time. We did whatever we wanted. I didn't even think about that part of it. But I guess my horizons hadn't really expanded to beyond California at that point. It was still really fun to go to LA and Monterey and Tahoe, and all of that stuff was still really fun and more than satisfying. So he finished this ginormous job, and I guess looking back with perspective, now that I can put that figure in my head of how much that job was actually worth, it was close to $1 million. It took a long time, but it was a lot of money. And he finished it, and there was a large chunk of money that came with the ending of it. I didn't even think about it. And he came home and he had bought tickets to Hawaii and had prepaid for the hotel and prepaid for a bunch of things. And it was so shocking. I don't even know why, because in the scheme of things, of all the money we had spent and all the things the places we had gone and stuff, it wasn't like that much more exorbitant.
Right.
It was just something I hadn't thought of. Like I didn't even cross my mind to do something like that. So when he came home and said we were going to Hawaii, I was absolutely overjoyed. So surprised.
It's so hard to be surprised, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And the fact that he did something so spontaneous. Well, it actually wasn't that spontaneous because he said he'd been thinking about it. But that he went through with it?
Because guys sometimes...
Right. Well, Jerry will tell you to this day that when it comes to frivolous spending, like going shopping or spending money on Amazon or me going to Macy's and dropping a couple $100, I'm good with that all day long. But if it comes to big ticket purchases, I cringe.
You're like, I'm like, the same way.
Wait, I can't. No.
I'm the same way.
I don't know why. So he does it without me.
It feels frivolous. Daryl's the same way. I'm the same way.
He's like, you didn't want us to get a new air conditioner. We were sweating to death because when they told you how much it was going to cost, you were like, absolutely not. He's like, and I was like, I'm not suffering another day. He's like, for me, it was a no-brainer.
He's like, yes and yes.
He's like, so I had to do without you because I was like, no.
Yeah, it's true. I'm very conservative with my money.
I don't know why.
I don't like spending it. I do not like spending it.
On big chunks, but I can go to Target and blow $250 and be like, well, you know what? We needed shampoo.
That is true. That is true. But I do feel weird about it.
Do you know how much a razor costs?
They're $12.99. Very expensive.
But we must sweat to death in 102 degrees weather because it's $5,000 to buy an air conditioner.
That's so true. No, I think the best gift. First of all, Daryl has really never surprised me.
Really?
No, I mean it's just.
Does he try, or is it?
He has tried,
or is he smart enough to know that it's not the smartest thing?
The thing is he's given me so many bad gifts that at this point he's just like, oh God, yes. But the good gift was this. I needed a new car so badly. And this was a long time ago. I'm still driving this vehicle. That
it's not a long time ago.
The car is a 2012.
Is it?
Yes. So
again, this is where my brain is like, that's still good.
It is still good. Which is why I still don't have a new car, because it's fine. But it's anyway, I pulled into, I was schlepping the kids home from swim practice, and I opened up the garage.
What were you driving back then? Your Durango.
My little white Durango, which I absolutely loved, by the way. Yeah. So I opened up the garage door, and I'm like, who's in my car? Who's in the garage? I couldn't understand.
Was it a surprise?
So the garage door opens, and there is my little Ford Mustang convertible.
It's not little. It's beautiful.
It's my Ford Mustang convertible with a big bow on it. I went, what? And of course, Daryl can't help himself, so he comes blowing out of the house, and he's got his huge shit-eating smile. He's like, look what I did. And I was like, I can't believe it. He goes, I picked out every detail of this vehicle prior already, and so it wasn't like he picked it for me.
He didn't do it. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
He just went and bought it.
It was to your specifications.
Everything. And so I was like, oh my God. And I was genuinely surprised. I knew that someday I would get something. I just didn't know what it would be.
Did you honestly not have any idea that he had bought it?
I had no idea.
And that it was coming and all of that?
Zero, none. And so I was like,
I never knew this story. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and
I always thought you picked it out and you guys ordered it and all of that.
No, what had happened is we tried to order it, but the dealership that we ordered it at had not much of a priority at the factory, and so it was going to be months and months. Right. It was some ridiculous excuse. Ultimately, we went to one that has a high production rate where they just sell a shit ton of cars, and he got it very quickly, and so. Yeah, and he got it. He's like, he was so proud of himself because I was surprised and I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I have that car to this day, and I love it.
Well, you barely drive it.
He keeps telling me, he's like, well, it's time to get you a new car. I'm like, really? Do we have to? Because I don't really know.
I think you do. Now that I know what year it is.
Like,
I didn't know.
I mean, it runs so well.
Well, how many miles are on it? I have to know.
Like $70,000 or
God.
$60,000.
Okay, do the math.
I know.
You don't drive it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I poked it with a stick for a really long time because I'm like, I don't want to, it took me a long time to get used to driving it.
When you get to that level, you don't want to drive them, and
I was just
you
like,
want to savor them.
Well, not only that, but I'm like,
someone will love that car when they buy it.
I wanted one for so long.
You did.
That I was afraid to drive it.
You deserve that car.
I love that car.
So now you deserve
in fact,
the next.
Daryl was even like, well, we'll trade it in. I'm like, what?
Why can't I have two?
We can't have all these cars. I'm like, I don't think I want to get rid of this car. And Malia's like, I'll take it. I'm like, you will not? This is my car.
Hell no.
You had a Mustang convertible. You love that car.
I did, but it was on a totally different level. Yours is way, way cool. Like, yours is the kind that I would want if I could pick one out. That car that we had was something we took because it was what was given,
Well, it was still a fun car.
So it was. No, it was. Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, that's amazing. Well, I had no idea.
Okay, bad gift.
Bad gifts.
So many.
I was 17 or 18. I was very, very young. I was dating what eventually became my first husband. I have never, I hope I can say this about him too, but we had never experienced such a tremendous love. Like, our relationship at that point was so amazing.
You guys were obsessed with each other.
No, we were obsessed with each other. And Joel was really obsessed with me. And he knew he wanted to marry me right away. I did not, but he did. And so he treated me that way from the gate.
Sure.
And so I think it was probably our first Christmas together. It may have been our second, but I'm pretty sure it was our first because it sticks out so vividly in my mind how excited he was to buy presents. Buying presents for me has always been a difficult thing because I'm not used to getting them. I'm not used to giving them. So I really am never knowing like what to do and like what to give a person. But for him, it was like he was all about it, like going shopping and blah, blah, blah. So the morning that I don't remember, but we were opening the presents and he was so excited to give me the gifts that he gave me. And I don't remember what the other ones were, probably because they were good. Probably because they were things I liked.
Yeah.
But these gifts were clothing.
Okay.
And it was not lingerie, so it wasn't anything kinky. They were just things that he said that he saw in the store that he thought I would really like and that I would look really good in.
Okay.
Now, when I was younger, I was 105 pounds wet. And I looked good in everything.
Sure.
I mean, I literally...
Except for whatever this article is clothing.
But I was very fashionable in the sense that I don't know if you remember, but everything always matched. I've always been very matchy-matchy, which isn't that fashionable now. But back then,
No, the 90s, it was like that.
it was the thing.
Yeah.
My shirt matched my pants. My socks matched my shoes.
It was very common.
I had the scrunchie that was the same color. That was me. So he thought, because I was that way, that I would totally love this thing that he got me. So he got me two of them. They were, I don't know how to describe it even, foil? I mean, shiny.
Macrame or like a mylar?
Yes, like a shiny balloon.
Okay.
But they were tank tops.
Oh.
A silver one and a gold one. Now, if you're a Vegas stripper, these are perfect.
Wow.
For after you're done with your show.
He thought of you
and you
when
need
he
to
saw
throw something
these?
on. I opened them. I'm like, wow. Where the hell am I going to wear these? Are we going to Vegas and I don't know?
Oh my God.
They were hideous. They were so ugly. And I don't think I could even contain my surprise or my dismay at what they were. And I just remember how deflated he looked. That you don't like them? And I'm like, I don't remember if I got out of it or if I was honest. I really don't remember. I know that I never wore them.
You're probably like, well.
Ever. Yeah. I mean,
wow.
it wasn't even something you could make work. You put it under a blazer or, tuck it into a skirt or jeans.
No.
Literally could not wear them. It literally, imagine a shiny balloon.
No.
But in gold and silver.
I can't imagine.
It was hilarious. So I wish now I would have kept them just as trophies.
Sure. It's like, see what your dad got me?
Totally. It would have been a funny reminder. But yeah.
So
worst gift
funny.
ever. Very funny.
The only really bad gift, and I'm not going to continue harping on Daryl all the time, but the only...
Well, I mean, he's been in your life for a long time.
But I had
He's the only one to really give you gifts.
I had bad gifts before that, but No, it's dumb, but it was my first real boyfriend, not high school, but after high school. And it was Valentine's Day. I hate Valentine's Day. I've never been a fan.
Too.
But, when you're young and you're dating, you kind
It's what you do.
You do what you got to do. And so
I have gotten many grocery store boxes of Valentine's chocolate.
You know what? That would have been a step up. I got
really
gas station rose.
Oh, Lord.
And it was not even a real one.
Did they have the underwear inside?
It wasn't even the real one. It was the fabric rose from the gas station that smells like gas station. And some candy bar.
Oh, Lord.
No card.
About as thoughtless as they come.
It's about like, oh shit, it's Valentine's Day, and I'm on my way to pick her up. God, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like,
I'd rather you get me nothing.
That's what I said. I go, you didn't have to do anything. It would have been better than this insult because this is offensive.
It is offensive.
And people wonder why it didn't work out.
Right.
Jesus, it's like the first red flag of a million rows of red flags.
I mean, honestly, it would have been better to just say something heartfelt.
Something like, I'm so sorry, I forgot it was today.
Let's go to dinner.
Or something.
Yeah, than to do that, because that is definitely like worse than any...
In fact, that was a Valentine's Day that he took me to his work because he was working at a restaurant. So we went to his restaurant for dinner, and I fell asleep at the table.
Why?
Because I was so like not wanting to be there.
Oh, God.
That I literally fell asleep at the table like a child. It was the worst.
Oh my God.
It was the worst. Horrible day ever. Honestly, that should have been my clue that I didn't like him that much.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, seriously.
Well, we have to browbeat ourselves a little bit sometimes in order to get there, but...
Maybe I deserve the fabric rose.
I'm so glad that you eventually realized.
Oh my God.
And moved on.
Okay, ugly gifts.
Yeah. Well, mine's easy, and I hope it's not the same.
Well, it can be.
So, my Tiffany bracelet.
That's right. We all have one.
Yeah, so we all have matching Tiffany bracelets. I don't know whose idea. I'm guessing it was yours.
No, honestly, it was Paula's.
Really?
Yes, because she wanted, as we turned 40, she thought we should all have something to commemorate.
Agreed.
And so she got me this one. And then
you were the first one.
Because I turned 40 first. And then I got you yours.
Right.
And then Allison, for some reason, did not want one.
She didn't.
She's so not interested in being a part of the group.
I don't know.
She's
I've asked her about that since, because I'm like, I would still get you one today if you've like reflected and been like, she just doesn't wear jewelry. Period. That I can think of.
It was more about just the symbolism of us all being sisters.
Know.
But she just was not comfortable, and we're like, that's fine. That's who she is.
It is who she is.
And then when Paula
I should get
40,
her something totally different, but it's still like the same. I should get her like a Tiffany ring or a necklace or some
whatever
earrings or something that
and then
uniquely Allison.
And then Paula turned 40, and you and I got her hers, and so now we all have it.
Yeah.
And then there was discussion about getting something when we turned 50. I'm like, no, we're done.
No.
I'm not adding on to
I don't want to keep commemorating age.
No,
Sorry.
I really don't. Like, I'm appreciative of the fact that I hope to live to a nice old age, but I don't want to continue celebrating it.
I don't want to have, material items that tell me that, this is when you got even older.
Oh, God.
And I mean, if it wasn't Tiffany, it would not be acceptable. So the fact that it's Tiffany, that's why I love it so much.
I love it.
Too.
I have to get mine clean. Okay, so before we close, the next time we record, I believe the first episode of the new Sex and the City show will be out.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So
it comes out on the 9th.
Yes, it does. And I believe this drops on the 12th. So so the next time we record, we'll discuss.
Woohoo!
Okay, so quickly, a lot of people...
There's so much buildup, like I don't even know.
There's a lot of buildup, but a lot of people are talking about the fact that Samantha is not going to be in the show.
I've had to accept that a long time ago.
Kim Cattrall is like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
She's out. I am always Team Cattrall. Always being Team Kim. And it's not because I think Sarah Jessica Parker is some kind of cunt, but...
I think she's a little cunty.
She's a bit cunty because I was watching something the other day and it said, if you go back, because Kim Cattrall was always saying there was a little bit of a mean girl vibe on set.
Oh.
And she seemed to be the target. And she's like, and I don't take that lightly because she's a professional. And she's very good at her job.
She is.
She goes, but if you reflect...
And she's achieved, I would think, close to the most success of the four of them.
100%.
Yeah.
She's iconic. She was a mannequin.
I mean, and she's been in
Big
a lot of
Trouble in
things
Little China.
since. Yeah.
Yes, she's very good.
Many things.
But if you reflect, and I had to reflect, and we're going to close on this note because it's very fascinating. She was the only one of the four of them who ever looked ugly on camera or ever had any kind of
humility,
gratuitous sex scenes
Yeah.
She was also the one that when she had the chemical peel, she looked hideous. She also was the one who got cancer
and had let her hair be shaved.
She was the one that had to go through menopause and eat yams.
Yes.
She was the one that was humiliated by her Richard. It was incessantly one quote unquote stunt that none of the other women ever went through.
That's true.
She was the only one shamed for being promiscuous.
Right.
And that Carrie had to come back and apologize, but didn't really. She was one shamed for dressing inappropriately. And she's like, I'm over 40. It's time to cover up. Remember when Sarah Jessica Parker's character said that to her?
Yep.
So she's like, it was like that all the time. And if you look back, Samantha was the butt of every joke when it came to those types of things. No one else, none of those other women went through it.
I mean, I agree with you.
The Bozo the Clown pubes.
Yeah, I'm Bozo the Bush, but that was so funny. But
yes, because she could pull it off.
Yeah, she did pull it off.
But I mean, can you imagine reading the script over and over again going, oh, Samantha once again is going to have to deal with something inappropriate.
I always felt like, okay, and I agree with you, and I didn't really look at it in that way.
I didn't either, because I loved everything she did because she could do it, because she's so good.
But I don't necessarily disagree that Sarah didn't do some of that a little bit, maybe definitely less, to the rest of them too. Miranda was always the boy kind of looking, the dull one, she was the smart one.
Right.
She was they always made her look ugly.
Right.
Yeah, she was never as fashionable as the rest of them until the movie. Right. And then all of a sudden she was wearing Gucci and Fendi and everything else. And Charlotte had to live with a man who couldn't get his penis hard.
It's true.
There were certain things that, and then married Harry, the sweaty bald guy with hair on his back.
What about in the movie when Samantha was overweight and they all acted like it was no big deal?
Oh, yeah, right.
And they're like, she wasn't even fat.
God, she was like perfect. I know, right?
And so it's like, if you start ticking them over and over again, at some point, you have to go, why was
that
Samantha
is undeniable?
The one
Yeah, you're right.
That was constantly.
I think it's going to come down to me outright just jealousy.
That's what I was going to say.
Because Kim Cattrall,
she's stunning.
She is stunning.
I mean, stunning.
Yeah, I mean, she's tall and thin, and she's self-assured and confident.
Definitely
and
watching.
Sarah Jessica Parker is everything but.
She's a short, angry little troll.
And she's ugly. And she has a big nose. And she has bony hands.
I can't wait to watch.
And she has no body at all. I mean, her body is like...
She's a tiny, tiny person.
She's like, it's not even about being tiny. She has no curves.
No, she's tiny.
Her legs are like
small
sticks.
Little person.
She has no boobs.
And then, so in that vein, I don't know if you've seen any pictures of Kristen Davis lately.
Well,
she's put a shit ton of fillers in her face.
Oh, I haven't seen her lately.
Oh, Stephanie.
So she made a movie. You're gonna kill me. She made a movie that's on Netflix with Rob Lowe, where she got divorced. She got dumped by her husband.
I do remember
and she went
that.
to Africa.
Yes,
and was being a veterinarian for wild animals.
I do remember that.
Now
movie.
I don't know why I like them. Jerry's like, why are you watching this? This is so fucking stupid.
Because there's no such thing as a bad movie.
Okay,
that's why.
Well, I had not adopted that attitude
you
until
can find
today.
Value in anything.
Now I have made that epiphany, but there are movies that I've written off in the past as bad. But this one, but you're right. You know what? I kind of am like that too.
Yeah,
I think that's why I like dumb movies.
You can find value in anything.
Out to Sea. Who watches that movie with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau?
They're classics,
right?
Yeah.
No one knows that movie but me. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, I guess I just. I don't know. I saw Kristen Davis, and it was clearly a more recent movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what? It's stupid to put these actresses in your mind as like permanently 30.
That's true.
It's been 25 years.
No, she's 50.
You know? She is. Yeah. And you know what? She looks great.
She's beautiful.
Now I haven't seen her with the fillers, but I'm assuming that they are preparing for all of the publicity in the press that they're going to get for the show.
I will be honest with you. When I saw it, I thought, oh, is this for the show? Like, is she going to be one of those actors? Is she going to be... is her character going to be obsessed with aging? And so, like, she did it for the show. I thought, like, it was part of the part.
I almost, in the trailers, I haven't seen a trailer, but in the...
I did.
Have you seen a trailer?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I haven't watched. But I've seen, like, still shots of, the cover or whatever of the show. And it almost looks like they're trying to make them look older than they are.
Right.
And I don't get it.
There's also a rumor that Miranda's going to be gay.
Well, she is in real life.
Well, I know. That's why I'm wondering.
Fine.
Fine.
Okay, I mean, I just hope they don't make this some political thing, you know?
I don't think so, but I mean, I think there was so...
Because Cynthia Nixon ran for, mayor or governor or something?
Mayor. But I think there was so much blowback as that audience matured and recognized how not diverse the show was.
Yeah.
That people were like... now they're like, we need to make it right. And so I think we're going to see a lot of quote unquote diversity. And I don't like that. I don't like it for the sake
that they just think they should leave well enough alone.
I just think it's more, I feel it'll feel forced. It won't feel natural. It won't feel like these women, these white, rich women, in reality, would likely not be friends with a lot of people who are
exactly.
like that.
I think what you saw in the show was
real.
Closer to real than not.
And then, and then when the movies came out and stuff like that, they did blend it up and there was some diversity and I thought it felt very natural.
It did.
But now it feels like they're really pushing it hard. And I'm like, I don't really want them to go nuts.
Well, then it'll be inauthentic and, like you said, forced.
I'm looking for.
And I know they're going to bring some younger characters in to try to so that they have more of a diverse audience. Like it's not just all of us old 40, 50-year-old girls who are dying to see another Sex and the City thing.
I'm going to be hate watching it. I know it. I'm going to be so critical, but it's also because we've grown a lot as women.
But I refuse to be Paula. I am not going to say that I'm not going to watch it and be indignant and dig my heels and be like, I absolutely will. No, I am going to watch it.
I'm watching every morsel of it.
I don't care if it's terrible from episode 1.
I will watch it.
I will still watch it.
I will watch it and say Big doesn't deserve you 1,000,000 times over. I will say it.
Hopefully they will cement our feelings about how bad we hate Sarah Jessica Parker and her character in the show.
Carrie is a bad friend.
Carrie is a terrible friend.
I've said that since day one. I'm like, why is she getting away with this?
Because she's the executive producer of the show.
Well, I just meant as the character. I said if I had a friend like that, I would not be their friend.
Yeah.
Like, this is a terrible girl.
There were a few episodes where it was, like the time that Miranda walked out of the thrift store.
Oh my God,
because
I love
Carrie
that
was
scene.
being such a cunt.
I love
that was real to me. Like, I was like, yes,
finally.
That is what real friends do.
Yes,
real friends do stuff like that.
Yes, that's true. That's
true. You just do.
And I loved it. Anyway, all right. Well, the show is far from over, so we're gonna say goodbye.
It's far from over, or it's way too over.
Way too over. Oh yeah, no, way too, not far from.
I'm like, really? Do we have to talk for like another hour? My throat's getting sore.
Oh my God, no, we're exhausted. We're done. Oh my God. I
have to go home. I'm hungry. Daryl's cooking something. He's killing me.
It smells so good. What is he cooking? A steak down there?
Jesus Christ. Or something. I'm like,
what is he doing? I smelled it. I was like, is there mashed potatoes and gravy?
He's like, they're really on a roll today.
God,
I can eat.
Crazy. Well, you know what? Have fun editing this show. It's fucking insane. So good luck with that. Thank you for supporting us, and we will be back with a new show. Actually, one more show before the year, I think, after this.
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.